getting to the point now where I looked around with Diane, showing her what I would do with the camera, things I look for, and you know, kind of get a feel what's going on. So I'm traveling light today. This is not a hunting trip. This is a trip back to New York to visit my children and grandchildren. But I just enjoy being by my old woods I know. So although I don't expect this to be very productive, I still grab my bow, take down bow right in my suitcase, have some arrows made, keep them here at the grandkids' house, and walk through the woods while everybody's at work or at school. So although this is not the most productive, if I want to be productive at whitetail, I'd either be in some kind of a blind or I'd be up in a tree. To enjoy myself, and I have killed a deer like this with the bow, I would probably come by a tree like this, and I would wait 15, 20 minutes, just stand here. I don't have my binos with me, I don't have binoculars with me, but I would check the wind. I either want the wind coming in my face or on an angle this way or on an angle that way. I want the wind going this way, and I'm going to start to still hunt that way. Very slow. It's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so I would try and catch them, you know, bedded down. Binos, binoculars, I've looked the whole place, looked for a long time. Just look for the tip of an ear sticking out, or look for an antler that looks like a branch. Watch and watch and watch. And then I would try and stalk up a little bit. And when I stalk, it would be real slow. First, more than stalking up on an animal, I'm kind of looking to make sure there's no animal there, really. And then I just move from tree to tree. And I would just slowly go up to the next tree. Real slow. And before I moved, I had looked ahead to make sure there were no animals nearby. Okay, this looks like a scrape here. I got some activity. It's kicked up there a little bit. A little scrape. Here's the licking branch above it. So we're looking for that too. That's where they, you know, the bucks will pee down their leg over their tarsal gland, mix the urine and the gland scent on the spot, and then they'll come back and check this. I've read different things. Guys will hunt rub lines, guys will hunt scrapes. I get some conflicting information from the experts, but you know, I like it all and I try it all myself. Some guys will hunt rub lines, and then I read another book and it says rub lines are mostly visited nocturnally at night, so you can't hunt them. I don't know if that's true or not. And then scrapes, I was told that during the rut, the buck will visit the scrape a few times a day, where he might not revisit the rub line once every day or two. I'm reading all this stuff. It's conflicting information. It's all good. I think it's whatever you connect with. You know what your rubs are, you know what your scrapes are, and you're just trying to hunt them all. Probably none of them is as effective as a food source and getting off the, you know, off the food line, whether it's on a farm or a food plot you made yourself, and then get back off of it 20, 30 yards. Because I found that when the does come right out to the food source, like if all the paths are going from the woods to the food source, there'll be a crossing lane, a crossing trail, and I find that that's the buck sometimes cruising back and forth. So I get off the food source maybe 20 to 50 yards in the woods on crossing trails if I can find them. Otherwise I look for scrapes like this, and that's it. Then more time in the woods. Another scrape. We're just heading back to Huey's house, and I got another scrape right here. So licking branch above it. Yeah, they can see it. That's a fresh scrape. So see, it's all torn up here. The leaves are all torn up. I don't know if you can catch that on this camera, but it's all torn up, and there's a scrape right here. So I heard conflicting things about this too. Sometimes I got to be careful. It'll look like a scrape, but when I see it kind of in a V, you know, compared to being in a circle, if I see it all torn up in a lot of areas, that I find here anyway, sometimes turkey scratching, and you'll see the whole flock of turkeys will come by. I also read some things. I mean, I love reading this stuff all the time. So much better than fire department training manuals, which are incredibly boring. When I read about the scrapes, and I like to try different things. They'll make a scent. Now, every state's different where it's legal. Some places you can use scent attractants, some places you can't. Just like some states you can bait, which I don't care to do. Some states you can't. With the scrapes, some guys would find like a different type of scrape juice. You can make a mock scrape, an imitation scrape, and that might annoy a dominant buck in the area. He'll come checking it to find out who the little guy is to chase him away. Other hunters will pee in the scrape. They take a leak in the scrape, and that mixes again with the scent, and it annoys the dominant buck if he made the scrape that there's another buck around. And that might, you know, in the rut when they're going crazy, that might bring him back to the scrape to check more often. And if you have a tree stand placed a good shot for this scrape, maybe it'll pay off. I mean, I hear all kinds of conflicting reports. You know, I'm not a professional hunter. I just love this stuff, and I'm getting as much enjoyment out of finding what the pros write about and finding it myself, and then experimenting. This worked this time, this didn't work another time, and all good stuff. I'm having a good time. I keep my wind indicator powder with me. You know, I have that whisper wind, or liquid smoke's another one. I'll use that. And like I said, still hunting with the bow is certainly not productive, but it's real enjoyable. I see a lot of small game, and what else can you do? You know, if it's this or nothing, this is what I'm going to do. And that's just more time for us in the woods, more time to see what's going on, and I love it. Can't get enough.